thing and winning on the Euro Tour. A great moment for Aspinall. And I was talking with Nico before about Aspinall and the shift. You really go through it with him when you're watching him throw, because the effort, you don't know what sort of niggles and injuries he's playing through. He hides it well. You know, there's sometimes those delays when he's throwing, but it's a very labour-intensive throw that he's got, isn't it? Sometimes it can be a bit of a tough watch if it's not going his way, but when it is, it's poetry in motion.
Yeah, he kind of puts you on that emotional roller coaster, doesn't he? You know, you are living every dart with him, and especially for people that watch darts, that enjoy darts, but also play. I think most of us can probably also empathise with how it is such a lonely place on these stages. As I've mentioned before, you know, it's an individual sport. There is no team to back you up. So when things start going wrong, it's just you, and quite often it's just what's going on in your own mindset. And I think what we always think with regards to Nathan Aspinall is there's just the sheer strength of mind that he's got and character, that when things aren't perhaps working physically quite all together for him, he's still got the mindset that carries him across and wins him matches, tournaments.
And you've got competitive action coming up this weekend as well, haven't you?
Yes, heading over to Rosmalen in Holland this weekend. Got another set of the women's series, so 4 tournaments this weekend. See if anyone can beat Bo Greaves. It feels like an impossible task at the moment.
She is dominating very much in the women's series events. But yet 4 events across 2 days, so 2 a day. It's no let up at all. But, you know, listen, you're quite happy with your general form going into this, aren't you? Yeah,
it's definitely an improvement last round, making semi-final. Obviously, I just think what we've seen in the women's game, especially most recently, is an improvement across the whole standard as well. I think there's 70 plus competitors going out over to Holland, quite a lot coming from Germany, Belgium as well. So yeah, I just think the standards, there are no easy games. You don't want easy games, and I think it's brilliant for the sport, but there isn't the first rounds, they can be brutal because it's not seeded. Anyone can play absolutely anyone, so it's a bit luck of the draw, and then hopefully you've just got the performance to back it up.
Let's talk about Cameron Menzies as well, who's top of the Pro Tour Order of Merit. Won one of the Players' Championship events on Monday in Leicester. Brilliant performance from Cameron. He's had a smashing year. He's got rid of the beard. I didn't recognise him at first when I saw him throwing in on the Euro Tour. I didn't realise it was Cammy. But another player who you go through the full range of emotions with when you're watching him, and he's thinking about quitting his job to go full-time in darts. And I would recommend there's a video, I think it's on the Sporting Life website, that our colleague Paul Nicholson has done, where he talks about not the dangers of going full-time, but the realities of going full-time, and, you know, relying on darts as your sole income and making sure that you're financially savvy about how prize money gets divvied up and how prize money can disappear when you think you've got a certain amount that you've earned for winning a tournament.
Yeah, and there's that other element, isn't there, of performance pressure. Obviously, when you're working alongside trying to forge a career within a darts or any sport, you still have that backup, as you mentioned, financially, that you know that you've got that regular income coming in. Okay, you might not be able to dedicate quite as much time to the sport in question, but timing is really important. And I do think, you know, once that is your main source of income, that is where I think some players perhaps have come unstuck slightly before, because it's adding a different level of pressure to the performances.
When I think of somebody like Jim Williams, who has clearly no intention of abandoning his trade in order to go full-time. Alan Souter, as a firefighter, is quite happy to juggle, and I think the other thing is his employers are very good about, you know, allowing him the time off to go and pursue the PC events and things like that. It's a dreadfully difficult balance to strike, I should imagine.
Yeah, and we mentioned it with the players obviously here in the Premier League, and how it's about balancing your calendar. Obviously, if you've then got full-time work to actually try and balance into that as well, it becomes even more difficult. It's a different element, but as I say, it will be unique to each individual. Some people are very confident in their own ability, perhaps have a bit more of a stronger financial backing. If you're not one of those people and you're just reliant on your own results, then that, to me personally, I think that's where it becomes slightly difficult. We've seen it with the likes of maybe Glenn Durrant, when he decided to obviously go full-time, gave up his job, and Johnny Clayton. very good to start with, but both of them trailed off ever so slightly, and I just think it's just, like I say, it's a different kind of feeling, because darts is no longer that thing that you go out, enjoy and try. It's your job.
Glen Durrant, a former Premier League winner. Let's not forget, we're about to bring you the final between Nathan Aspinall and Luke Humphries at the AO Arena in Manchester. Same format, first 6 legs wins it to get that nightly prize of £10,000. Here we are talking about making sure that you sort your finances, but £10,000 goes a long way, even if you are paying your manager and your travel costs out of that, and making sure you got enough to pay your tax bill. Once that's all done, you've got to think about all that stuff, haven't you? Looking at the Euro Tour and the Pro Tour just generally, there's some really interesting players who are starting to, I mean, I've talked about Cameron Menzies and the form he's in. It's fantastic to see. Ian White has been really picking up of late. Diamond White, who's been a mainstay on the Pro Tour for such a long time. And then, of course, Gary Anderson, who has got one of the purest throws, I think, on the tour. Love watching him throw a dart. And he's regularly posting 100+ averages, not picking up titles, but he's going to be in that bottom 16, to take on a seed at the match play. I wouldn't want to draw him.
No, I don't think
the tea in China.
I don't think many players would they? But no, I agree, and I think we spoke about it probably the last couple of years really with Gary Anderson, since he hasn't been an active participant in the Premier League. What we have seen is those floor matches, especially on the Pro Tour, some absolutely mammoth averages, some big performances, and now we've come to kind of expect it from Gary, as you say, such a natural ability, and the same with Ian White really. He's one of those players, you don't hear much of him, and all of a sudden he'll just have this kind of flurry of really strong performances, and he will always, he still holds onto the tour card, maybe doesn't qualify for all the big tournaments, but still does more than enough to stay a frequent presence on the tour.
Certainly seems to me that there'll be a number of players who you might expect to hear from at the match play when we go to Blackpool in July, who won't be there. I worry for the likes of Krzysztof Ratajski, who is... He's within striking distance of that 16th or 17th to 32 section of the draw. Michael Smith is outside the top 32. He's got work to do. Ricardo Pietreczko just hanging on to the final spot. Ryan Joyce is just outside, who's reached a Euro 2 final this year, lost to Aspinall, who we're about to see in the final. There's lots of jockeying for position. It won't be until Players Championship 16 that we know who's made it. We're at Players, we've had 12 events, so still 4 to play out to sort out the wheat from the chaff, Laura.
Yeah, there's still all to play for those ones that are kind of in and around the mix, but as you mentioned, I do think there will be a couple of big names that won't actually make it through this year, and I do think, like you say, Michael Smith for me, the one that sat right outside, just doesn't seem to have that run of form at the moment, so really up against it in terms of trying to qualify.
Extraordinary really to think guy's been in the final at the match play not that long ago, not being in it. It's weird having players like Steve Beaton and Simon Whitlock not there, and others like Darren Webster, who are a bit of a mainstay. Demolition Man's not really featuring that much on the Pro Tour anymore. There does appear to be a real generational shift with the arrival of Kian van Veen, Wessel Nijman. We'll see both of those in Blackpool. Josh Rock. The list goes on as the generational shift continues.
Yeah, and even if you look at the likes of maybe Connor Scott, he's from our area, even a newcomer to the tour who happened to, I've seen him a lot on Modus, Adam Lipscomb, made a final recently, I think made either the last 8 or a semi-final again on the Pro Tour. So you've got these new players coming in, and they're fearless. They've got, they're making these stages with all these Pro Tour players that, for a lot of people, you would expect them not to make it for another kind of 6, 12, 18 months. I
really enjoyed watching Connor Scott at the UK Open in Minehead. Really enjoyed himself on those stages, and that's a brutal tournament in terms of the audiences you can be playing in front of on those outer boards, where it can be so noisy.
So close, isn't it?
Close. But Connor Scott, he's on the fringes of the top 32. He's got work to do, but he might just sneak in. But remember, when we get to Blackpool in late July, we'll be there on talkSPORT and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel with live coverage of every session of the men's tournament. And don't forget, there's the women's world match play on the last Sunday. Fancy it this year, Laura?
I've got to qualify first. But you know, it's like I say, it's really tough. There's only 8 women that go through, and you're up against the likes of, as I mentioned, Bo Greaves, Lisa Ashton, Fallon Sherrod. We've got players coming through like Gemma Hayter as well, Rhiannon O'Sullivan. Honestly, I could name a lot.
Mikura Suzuki.
Yeah, Mikura Suzuki, absolutely. So, you know.
Is Anastasia still there?
Anna's still there. Yeah,
wow.
travelling with Anastasia and Lorraine this weekend.
Right.
My travel companions. So, yeah, there's a lot of top lane players that obviously that you've got to try and get past. It's doable, but if not, I'll be there anyway.
And we'll be there on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel, bringing you the whole tournament for the World Match Play. But now you can hear the familiar strains of the Killers, Mr. Brightside. It's like the Killers are on stage with the crowd, hands aloft, singing along with Nathan Aspinall. They turn down the volume, they'll just carry it all the way through to the bitter end. An inspired choice, Nathan, to pick Mr. Brightside as your walk-on music. Used to be like Daryl Gurney and Sweet Caroline that got the biggest sing-along. There's a bit of a shift there as well now.
Yeah, I remember when Daryl Gurney had hold of the mic and did the sing-along himself that year at the World Championships. But absolutely, I have to say, one of my favourite walk-ons, absolutely. This one's not too bad. It's one that's growing, maybe not on the Manchester crowd from the sounds of it, but...
See, I was, you know, as a Kiss fan, I was quite happy with Wes Newton walking on to Crazy Crazy Nights, and then Kevin Doots walking out to Rock and Roll All Night for his walk-on music. So, there are some darts players with taste. Ryan Searle with a bit of Sabbath, but regular viewers to the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel will know I'm a bit of a Ryan Searle fanboy. And he's already won a PC title this year, and he'll be at Blackpool for the World Match Play. Here comes the world number 1 on his way to the stage. One last time for the final. The family are there, including his lovely lady, making sure that he's got the best possible support. And up he comes onto the stage, and he's getting a better reception than he did in the semi-final against Littler. That's good to see. Shake of the hand for our scorers. Scott Gibling's up there. I think it's Andy Davis who's the other scorer up there. Hugh Ware will be our referee for this final. Aspinall in his red and black dart shirt. Humphries in that mottled blue dart shirt. And the practice throws are about to take place, and then we'll get the phony war out of the way and get the proper war underway. Where's your money going? You got 50p? Where's it going, Laura?
Honestly, I've been guilty probably of writing off Nathan Aspinall on one too many occasions in this Premier League, because he's always managed to dig down and find a big performance. If we see the Luke Humphries of the quarterfinals, then I just think he's unstoppable for anyone. But if he starts to get embroiled, then I think Nathan could edge it.
It's one of our favourite words, embroiled, when it comes to darts matches. So, as it stands, Littler 28 points, Humphries 23, so he could move on to 25. Aspinall, if he gets the win, would move on to 15 points, level with Michael van Gerwen, but he would have won 9 matches to van Gerwen's 8. And Rob Cross would have a bit of ground to make up to get involved in that top 4 fight. Dobey and Bunting haven't added to their points tallies tonight either. So, practice throws are done, and Luke Humphries won the ball backstage, so he's going to get us underway.
Yeah, sometimes could that be all the advantage that is required?
Well, just an 83 start for Cool Hand. Aspinall straight in the red bit with his first start. He might get a ton plus score here. 100 will do. And Aspinall very much enjoying the atmosphere and revelling in it.
Why not?
Oh,
Well, there's the whole crowd singing his name, and as you say, he's going to walk around at the moment like he owns the stage, but just has to back it up with the darts. Important last start there, because he managed to squeeze it into the treble 20 right in the corner.
You can hear how quickly Humphries gets from dart 1 to dart 3. He does not hang about. Aspinall, not exactly an aimer, but can sort of be a bit more measured about his approach to the throat, trying to get down to a finish. Humphries not quite there on a finish. 184. He's got the darts, remember, Humphries, at the start of this final. And he will be down to a finish when he comes back, with Aspinall way back on 256 in this opening leg.
Humphries on 101, and Aspinall trying to treble 20. Can't back it up with a second, so manages to get a Tom. Has 156 left, but 101 here for Humphries.
They've been playing each other on stages since 2017. They first met on the Challenge Tour back in 2017, where they were both developing their games, and that went the way of of Nathan Aspinall, should I say, in that first game. But Humphries does dominate on the head-to-head records against his opponent. 12-8 in the head-to-heads in major action, and they're comfortably taken. 8-8 for Humphries gets him the first leg of the match. Fairly run-of-the-mill first leg in this final.
And I think we saw it in recent, didn't we? Obviously, with regards to Nathan Aspinall, when it came to that final, just looked like the run-up to it had just taken everything out. He mentioned that he was a bit stiff, his arm was a little bit sore from playing quite so many games consecutively.
Well, that's the problem with the final day in a Euro Tour event, because you play 4 games in a day. You go from the round of 16 to the quarters to the semis to the final. It's a brutal day of darts if you make it all the way through, and if you're playing through little bumps and bruises that Nathan Aspinall clearly has, then yeah, that's just going to exacerbate those problems. Down to 299, but Humphries against the darts is going to get down to a finish again first here, and 121 does him the power of good. He's down to a 2-dart kill of 69, 230 points ahead of the Asp.
Yeah, Aspinall already at this early stage, right on the back foot. Humphries approaches to see if he can see off 69, 19 scored, 18 down for double 16, and double 16 is found. It's 2-0 to Luke Humphries.
Break of throw, 12-dart break of throw, very nice. And Aspinall knows on home turf he's up against it. And Humphries is showing that focus that we all know he's got, but even he was questioning at the weekend just how he was feeling about his game, but re-evaluated that opinion very, very quickly. Real drift left for all 3 darts there from Aspinall on that visit.
And already at this early stage, a real gulf in the averages between the pair. It's just around 105 for Luke Humphries, but under 80 for Nathan Aspinall.
He's not got going yet, the Asp. Treble 19 will help him out, but again, he's way behind. Humphries with the darts in leg 3, 2-0 up and 269 less this visit. Staying on the 19s and gets 7 of them to leave himself on a finish of 136. Aspinall looking for treble 18 on the cover this time, picks it off, but he's not down to a finish, nowhere near.
Humphries afforded 6 from here and can just afford to try and tee up, and tried to seek out that treble 19, but had to settle for 58 in the end, but knows he's returning for 78. Aspinall just not able to make any inroads here.
But you would be a fool to write Nathan Aspinall off, even if his darts are failing him at the moment. All 3 of that visit underneath the treble 20. Treble 18 for double 12 for Humphries. 1 dart left at 12s, and he's missed it. But again, he's got plenty of time to sort that out, because Aspinall's still on 216. That's a better first dart. 120 scored. He's wondering what to do. Looking across at the score, and he picks off a max to leave himself on double 18. Will he get a go at it?
Not sure. Cheeky nod to the crowd there by Nathan Aspinall, but it's all academic as Humphries finds double 12 for a 3-0 lead.
Well, until tonight, Humphries' best average was 106 against Aspinall in the semi-final in Newcastle a couple of weeks back. Aspinall pops in his first maximum of the final. Takes him down to 3-2-1. But of course, as we've already talked about, Coolhand's already had that staggering average against Bunting in the quarter-final. Although his average has dropped in this particular game just underneath 100, shade under 100 at this point.
Yeah, despite the drop though, still hasn't dropped a leg yet. Aspinall looking to hold throw here.
Well, Aspinall's first dart again just underpitched underneath the red bit. It's a bit of a blocker, trying to go over the top of it, does brilliantly, finds the treble 20, not once but twice. Great recovery.
I was with you, I thought that was awkward.
And Humphries back on 2-7-1. Tables are turned in this leg. It is Aspinall's throw, so he wants to hold. 1-2 the outshot. This would do him so much for his confidence if he can take this out.
And this is the element of his game that we saw that was outstanding in that opening quarter-final. He was 6 from 6 on the outer ring, including some big checkouts. Can't find treble 18, 24 points scored, 100 left. And Humphries back for 170.
So can Coolhand reel in the big fish? He's a third of the way there. Another treble 20, no, just above. So he's got to lay up, went for the ball and hit 25. So he'll be back maybe for 65 if Aspinall can't take out 80. Silence in the crowd for a moment. Double 10 required. 2 darts in hand for Aspinall to get a leg on the board. Has to go all the way across to the far left-hand side of the oche. Oh, and he's not compensated enough. And this could be 4-0.
It was awkward there, and Humphries now 65, goes in a 10, so 55-15. Tops just goes underneath. More chances here for Aspinall.
Real determined look on the face of Aspinall as he realises he's had a reprieve. Can he make this count? They're both on double 10. Aspinall gets first dibs. Pins it right in the bottom corner. Like Mikel Merino scoring against Real Madrid. Found the very bottom corner. 3-1, and he's held throw for the first time in the final.
And Humphries there kicking off the fifth leg with the 140. And Aspinall back in the treble 20, bet himself. 1-2, can he fill it up? Oh, settles for a 140 as well.
He's picked off some incredible finishes in this Premier League when under pressure, and on the Euro Tour as well. When under the pump, he's aiming for the red bit. Can he get a maximum this time? Yeah, 140 first visit, maximum on the second. Aspinall's woken up. He's got a chance to break here and get things back on an even keel.
Absolutely, 181 required for Aspinall. Humphries is on 156, but it's Aspinall with the treble 20. Switches down, finds 25. That's beautiful setup play, 145.
But 156 could go for Humphries. Another treble 20 would leave double 18 single, and he's very unhappy with that second dart deflecting away from the red bit. Chance for a break then. Double 18 Aspinall, the crowd getting behind him. Takes that pause on the oche and resets. Inside double 18. Across the double 9 on the other side of the board. Pins that. To break a throw to get back on throw. Luke Humphries 3, Nathan Aspinall 2.
We did say it could get interesting if the pair get embroiled, and it's looking like it's going that way. First 3 legs all go the way of Humphries. Now Aspinall back on the charge. 2 consecutive legs for him, and he starts off with 134 points.
Nathan was quite critical of the crowd in Risa at the weekend. There were elements of whistling once again in a darts audience, and he was very quick to criticise those individuals. It's very much a tiny minority who were trying to ruin the spectacle. Maximum for Humphries, trying to break back. Nip and tuck this leg, 181 plays 227.
Not much in it. Slight advantage in terms of the score lines, but it's Aspinall at the oche at the moment. Single 20, looking to find a treble. Does 80 points scored, 140 points. Aspinall will return for 87 for 3 apiece.
And now his average edging towards 100. Humphries average back above 107. The 87 for Aspinall to make it 3 apiece in this final. Treble 17 for double 18 is the outshot. Treble 17 is hit. 36 points remaining. An inch outside, decent marker. Oh, close but no cigar for Nathan Aspinall. Will he be back with Humphries on 136?
He will indeed. That's a single 20. Just back it up with a treble. 96 scored. Tops left for Humphries, but Aspinall 36 for 3 legs each.
Never write Nathan Aspinall off. Courage by the bucket load. Double 18 for 3-3. Get it. It's in. A little fist pump from Nathan Aspinall. The crowd engaged once more. We have a level final on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel.
And a real change in body language and a massive response from Nathan Aspinall. He's now starting to believe. 3 each, and Humphries kicking off with just 55 points. There's an early opportunity. First treble for Nathan Aspinall. Finds a 140 to start off his leg.
Well, that'll take his average above 100, I'm sure, with that 140 visit. Humphries still averaging over a ton himself. It's a real good quality final. Oh, Aspinall finding his range now. This is a proper matchup. And a 140 again from Aspinall, piling up the ton plus scores. Humphries coming downstairs to the 19s and back up to treble 20. Brilliant visit from the world number 1 as well.
Yeah, great leg from both. And it's Humphries who will come back for the 170, but Aspinall here is in a real good position to leave something better. Needs a treble.
Well, he gets himself a vital 25 to leave himself on a finish. 170 won't go for Humphries. Can he get down to a 2-dart kill? He can with a treble 17 at the end of the visit. Now 156, 2 treble 20s would leave double 18. Again, hush around the AO Arena. Wow, a pin drop. There's 7,000 in this place. Amazing.
Yeah, they're all engaged, aren't they? They're all looking to see if their local man could pick up the weekly title.
It is incredibly quiet as they watch Aspinall throw. It's like if I was up on stage playing my songs. That's the response I'd get for playing my own material. Humphries, 25, trying to set up bullseye to take the leg. Oh, he's hit 25 again. There was room, he couldn't find it.
This would bring the house down. 90 required for Aspinall, and he's just taken his time to set up. First one goes in the 5, 85 required. Looking at treble 15. Goes low.
2. Dear. That was a bit of a bag of nails from Aspinall there. So Humphries on throw. 9 for double 8. Double 4. No, he's inside. Aspinall gets another go, Laura.
Yeah, unbelievable. You can hear the Manchester crowd cheering for Aspinall. Aspinall just making sure he's set up, making sure he's ready. He's gone 25, 41 left, so 9 for double 16, for 4-3 and a breaker throw. And there you hear it, 66 found for Nathan Aspinall, and he's 4-3 up in a match that he was losing 3-0.
That is a real wounder for Luke Humphries. More than enough opportunities to hold throw there, but now Aspinall has the advantage. 4-3 up in a race to 6. And gets leg 8 underway. Just a little pause just to reset himself. And a ton to start off leg number 8.
This is that kind of bit of the game where it can start to get edgy. Obviously, Aspinall, you saw him take the deep breath there, and now he's got that grimace on his face.
You go through it with Nathan Aspinall when you watch him play. Humphries has this sort of, you know, very even look, barely betrays any emotion, but Nathan, goodness me, you always know what he's thinking. You're never in any doubt. Again, just taking a few seconds to settle himself. Lovely first start. Second drifts into single 5, but great recovery. That treble 20 bed's taken some right punishment in this final. Getting really pot-marked. Humphries looking for a match, doesn't quite get it. But this again is nip and tuck at 4-3 to Aspinall.
Yeah, 2-1-6 plays 2-1-1. Aspinall on 2-1-6, and he can only find 25 points. He's got one dart left. We'll be looking to make sure when he comes back he's on a finish, and it's a great last start, finding treble 19.
1-3-4 remaining for the Asp. What can Humphries do from 2-11? 40 scored, while 60 is enough to get down to a finish for Aspinall to go within one leg of his first nightly win this year. Wants 134, treble 17, hit twice for double 16. Oh, he's on the wire. Sinks to his knees for a moment, thinking he got it. He was walking, he thought he got it.
Yeah, it was very close, just the width of a wire away, but he'll be back because Humphries can't find anything on the 151.
So, 3 darts in hand now for double 16. Aspinall at the oche, bends the wire in on the outside and finds it with the second. The crowd goes potty again. Nathan Aspinall's one away, 5-3.
Humphries back in, and Humphries finds a maximum. Humphries looking to get another leg to keep this match going. Back comes Aspinall.
Second dart deflected away from the treble 20. Good recovery on 17s though. And Humphries slips below the red bit, covers on treble 19. So 370 Aspinall, one leg away from victory. 5-3 the score in this race to 6, and a trebleless visit from Aspinall gives Humphries a chance. It's Luke's throw in this 9th leg.
Yeah, for Luke it's just obviously vital. It's just the last 5 legs have gone the way of Nathan Aspinall. Luke kicked us off winning the first 3, and it's been all Aspinall since, and you can hear the crowd, but Humphries here in a really strong position.
125 for Humphries, he's hit 25. Treble 20 for tops. Oh, he's just north of double top. Great effort from Humphries. He'll be back because Aspinall is way back on 2-4-5 and may not get down to a finish. Indeed, he does not.
Tops required for 5-4. Goes inside, now double 10. Outside of double 10, but does get it third dart of asking. Absolutely no response from that crowd whatsoever.
That was like when an England batsman hits a 6 in Mumbai. Nothing happens.
Nothing.
Aspinall has the darts. 10th leg, he's 5-4 up. Hold your throw, Nathan, and you've won on your home turf. And he starts with a maximum. They're throwing their beer in the air already, and he's only 3 darts in. What can Humphries do from response? Decent, 135. Keeps him interested.
Yeah, great response from Humphries, but Aspinall here wants to build on that opening score of 180. Back in the treble again. Number 4, number 5. Can he fill it up again? Yes, he can. Back-to-back 180s for Nathan Aspinall.
Don't tell me he's going to win in Manchester with a 9-darter, for goodness sake.
It would be the dream, wouldn't it? Come on.
Well, let's see. For the match, it's the simple matter of treble 20, treble 19, double 12, and he's shaking his head in disbelief. Yep, that's all you got to do, Nathan. Settles on the oche now. Again, dead silence. Oh, single 20, and he's really angry with himself. He really underpitched that dart and was a good inch below the red bit.
He did, but I like the response after. He's given himself just a second and thinks, no, there's still a job in hand. He's in a brilliant position still, and that's a great reply. 105, he'll be back for double 18 for the weekly title.
Humphries picks off treble 19. He's down to the big fish, but a big moment for Nathan Aspinall, a match start on double 18. 3 in hand. Inside, double 9, way outside, a good inch outside, and no double nine with a third dart. And now Humphries, well, we've seen players take out 170 under pressure. Oh, here we go. Bullseye for Humphries. Oh, he's just to the left.
Oh, and the reaction from both players, absolutely fantastic. You had Nathan in the back. I think he thought that was in. He's got more chances, Dance.
But this time, it's double nine. Does he go for it or does he split? Looks like he's going for it. 3 more darts in hand for Nathan Aspinall at double nine. Oh, he's inside now. He's got to split. 1 for double 4, but only 1 dart at it. Oh, he's on the outside of it, and he sinks to his haunches as he retrieves the darts. And now Humphries is back in, but he's got a split 25.
Yeah, 5 match darts come and gone, and Humphries finds 9, double 8 on the wire, and he can't find it either.
Double trouble right at the end of this match. Humphries can't believe it. Aspinall gets another reprieve and another 3 darts in hand. He's missed 5 to claim the weekly title. Double 4. Yes! Nathan Aspinall wins on home turf to claim his first Premier League win of the campaign, seeing off the world number 1 by 6 legs to 4. Fantastic final. And Laura Turner, Luke Humphries 3-0 up, looked firmly in control, and then Aspinall went through the gears.
He really did, didn't he? And honestly, the celebration here in Manchester for Aspinall, absolutely massive. You can just see the emotion just pouring out of him. Hasn't yet picked up a weekly title, but he's done it here, he's done it on home soil. Almost falling to his knees as he just shakes the hands of all the officials. But yeah, it just looked so one-sided to start with. But as we said before, never ever underestimate Nathan Aspinall. He got him embroiled, and the outcome was the way of the Asp.
Well, there were 1 or 2 suggesting that Nathan Aspinall was a spurious pick for this year's Premier League, and how he is continuing to prove the dissenting voices wrong. Averaging 93 in that final. The averages don't really matter at the end of it all, nor do the doubles. 33% for Nathan, only 22% for Humphries. That last leg really affected their double percentages, in fairness. But what counts is that the £10,000 weekly prize and the 5 points goes to Nathan Aspinall, and that puts him level with Michael van Gerwen, either side of that dotted line, between 4th and 5th place.
Just makes the table really, really interesting, doesn't it? But you know, we talk about the missed darts in that last leg there, but that's what makes it exciting. That's the drama, that's the excitement. But the £10,000 obviously is a great bonus, but it's all about the points at the moment. It's about making it to the O2 at the end of this. And honestly, the scene still from Manchester, absolute delight from the Asp.
So on matches 1, Nathan Aspinall does go above Michael van Gerwen into 4th spot in the table. He's won 9 matches to MVG's 8. So he gets the nod. You've got 3 players on 15 points now. Gerwyn Price, Nathan Aspinall and Michael van Gerwen. Humphries moves on to 23 points. Littler at the top on 28. Rob Cross still in touch with a top 4 finish, even though he's now dropped down to 6th. 12 points for him. Dobey on 7, Bunting on 5, and we go to Rotterdam next week, Laura.
Yeah, we do indeed, and you've mentioned it already. Rotterdam is a place where Nathan Aspinall has had a lot of success, and he'll be wanting to kind of just build on this week, take it back to Holland and pick up another nightly title, because we know it's within him. We know what he can do, and he's proved it here tonight in front of home fans.
Many, many congratulations to Nathan Aspinall. He really is having a 2025 to remember thus far, and 5 points go his way. He looks in total disbelief as he's talking to television up on the stage, having got the job done against the world number 1. Laura, thanks for being with us tonight on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Thanks as well to Paul Nicholson and to our redoubtable producer Matt Gubbins. We will be back next Thursday on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel from Rotterdam for night 11, as the scrap for a top 4 place will continue in this year's Premier League. I must let you know before we go that when it comes to the Darts Premier League, the last thing you want is an online mishap throwing you off your game. So amongst the fastest VPNs available on the market, NordVPN gives you a quick location change when you need it most. Just go to nord.com, nordvpn.com should I say, /dartsvpn, and you get 2 years plus 4 months free and a birthday deal. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you very much for your company. If you've been with us all evening on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel, please give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll be back here next Thursday for Night 11 in Rotterdam. Cheerio.